Wesson Whitaker, Carson Brazil, and Randy Weber. Both 77s coming together here. The 77 of Wesson Whitaker and Randy Weber in the 77W. Pole, it will be the 47M of Miss Maggie Stroop, and to her outside, the 14B of Chase Bunton. Row 2 on the inside will be the 21 of Brantley Lewis, and to his outside, the 56L of Giovanni Lucido. Wesson Whitaker will be on the inside of row 3 in the 77, and to his outside, the 2T of Wyatt Tyre. And rounding out the field in row number 4, it'll be the 14 of Miss Audrey Larson and the 52 of Carson Brazil. Nice pace there down the backstretch as they get into turn number 3. Coming out of 4, they hit the stripe on the loud pedal. We drop the green flag. Heat race number 2 is underway. Lap number 1 is going to go to the 47M of Maggie Stroop, followed by Chase Bunton, Giovanni Lucido, Brantley Lewis, Wesson Whitaker, your top 5. Whitaker's got company. Here comes the 14 of Audrey Larson. Look at to the inside. Larson now into the top 5, and she's bringing Brazil with her. Battle for third as well now as Lewis and Lucido are side by side down the backstretch into turn number 3. Give the advantage to the 56L. Lewis had to check up before he hit the tire, and he'll fall off the pace a little bit and give some space between himself and Lucido. Larson holding on to 4th, but here comes Brazil, Carson Brazil down underneath her into turn number 3. Carson Brazil up to 4th now from the back. Brazil earning some valuable passing points, which is the name of the game. Maggie Stroop holding on to the race lead, followed by Chase Bunton, a narrow 2.9 seconds behind. Giovanni Lucido in 3rd. Brantley Lewis, Carson Brazil rounding out your top 5. 2 laps remaining now for the 47M of Stroop. Stroop coming up on lap traffic as she's going to get the white flag coming out of turn number 4. One more trip around here, the 8th mile up Port City Raceway. Dives down to the inside to put an insurance car in. Now here comes open the door. Side by side for the race lead down the back stretch into turn number 3. Give the advantage back to Stroop as she slides through turn 4. Maggie Stroop's going to pick up the heat race win. Chase Bunton was right there coming out of turn number 2. He's going to finish in 2nd. Giovanni Lucido going to round out the podium. Brantley Lewis, Carson Brazil going to be your top 5. Race before intermission. Rolling out on the track. Your Junior Sprint B feature lines up like this on the pole. The 17G of Grayson Logan to the outside. The 14 of Audrey Larson. Row 2 on the inside, the 8 of Ben Knox Jr. to the outside, the 17P of Thatcher Parker. While row 3, the 45X of Gunnar Hudson and the 77 of Wesson Whitaker. Row number 4 on the inside, the 47 of Stetson's Group and the 2T of Wyatt Tyre. And Randy Weber in the 77W rounding out the field as we're green out of turn 4. Nice driving there by the 17G of Grayson Logan and Audrey Larson, avoiding near catastrophe. As Grayson Logan, your race leader. Top 6 will transfer on. Grayson Logan, your leader. Audrey Larson there. 2nd, Thatcher Parker, Stetson's Group, Wesson Whitaker, and Ben Knox Jr. Your top 6. Randy Weber in the 77W currently on the outside looking in. We are a quarter of the way through. 3 laps in. Halfway home there for your race leader, the 17G of Grayson Logan. Caution flag comes out. Wyatt Tire facing the wrong direction over in turn number 2. Lights out, coming to green out of turn number 4. Grayson Logan going to bring us back to the green flag. Audrey Larson slow on the throttle. Now going to turn 2 into a parking lot of Audrey Larson. Gets spun around, collects I believe the 8 of Ben Knox. Wesson Whitaker in the 77. And Wyatt Tire in the 2T. We tried again with 6 laps in the books. 6 laps remain. Grayson Logan, your race leader. Stetson Stroop there in second. Thatcher Parker in third. 45 of Gunnar Hudson in fourth. Audrey Larson fifth. And Ben Knox Jr. in sixth. That final transfer spot, Wesson Whitaker in the 77 on the outside looking in. Battle for the lead side by side at the stripe entering turn number 1. Out of turn number 2, move Stetson Stroop to the lead point momentarily. The caution comes out for the 2T. We're coming to green. Stetson Stroop brings us back to the green flag, followed by the 17G of Grayson Logan. Thatcher Parker in third. Audrey Larson, Ben Knox Jr., and Wesson Whitaker. Your top 6. Two laps remain for the 47. Stetson Stroop gonna get the checker out of turn number 4. He picks up the B feature win. Grayson Logan in second. Thatcher Parker third. Audrey Larson fourth. Wesson Whitaker fifth. Ben Knox Jr., I believe, is going to finish in sixth as he was diving to the infield. So I'm not sure on the ruling on that one. The race fans have had a round of applause for the driver coming to out of Owensboro Button. While row 4, you'll see the 65 of Brighton Bowie and the 56L of Giovanni Lucido. Row number 5 with the 7 of William Wright and the 52 of Carson Brazil. While row 6, the 37K of Casey Pittman and the 66 of Breck Bowie. Row 7, the 21 of Brantley Lewis and the 36 of Bo Beeson. And row 8, your B feature transfers, the 47 of Stetson Stroop and the 17G of Grayson Logan. Row number 9, the 17P of Thatcher Parker and the 14 of Audrey Larson. And rounding out the field in row 10, the 77 of Wesson Whitaker and the 8 of Ben Knox Jr. 20 cars going 20 laps. Your junior sprint A feature. Pacing into turn number 3, coming out of turn number 4. Pete Frazier Memorial First A feature is underway. And we got one facing the, dang, and we got to bring the caution out. We tried so hard, so close. Top 5 will lock in tonight, as well as the hard charger. So a total of 6 lock-ins. Caleb Johannes, your race leader, but gives up the lead right there out of turn number 2 to the 65 of Brighton Bowie. Brighton Bowie now to the lead point, followed by the 3T of Bentley Thompson. The 17C of Caleb Johannes running in third, opens the door up. Now here comes the 14B of Chase Bunton. Side-by-side battle now for third. Johannesson falls back to fourth, followed by now the 28B of Brex Woods. Brex Woods in the final block-in spot. Mag Stetson Stroop into third. Chase Bunton and Giovanni Lucido. Carson Brazil, Maggie Stroop, Brighton Bowie, Bentley Thompson, Stetson Stroop, Carson Brazil, and Maggie Stroop, your top five. Brazil gets underneath the 47M of Stroop. Stroop, I have a feeling, is going to be your hard charger if she finishes the race. Oh, that'd be Stetson Stroop. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Heat race number one on the track. Your junior sprints on the pole will be the 77 of Wesson Whitaker. To the outside, it's the 77W of Randy Weber. Gunnar Hudson and Maggie Stroop are going to make up row number two, while Brody Lewis and Grayson Logan in row three. Brex Woods, Thatcher Parker in row four, and Carter Keith rounding out the field as we go green outside of turn number four. Red flag out. We've got one up and over in turn number four. Rack them and stack them, get them lined back up. Lights are out. We're going green coming out of four. Marcus Long, your flagman, drops the green flag late on the start. That'll give the advantage to the 47M of Maggie Stroop. Stroop rockets to the lead as the field was late jumping on the loud pedal. Stroop's going to lead lap number one. Wesson Whitaker in the 77. Scored in second. Grayson Logan third. Weber in fourth. Thatcher Parker going to round out the top five. Is now Parker looking underneath the 77W and gets done. Parker up to fourth. He's bringing the 28B of Brex Woods with him as Stroop building a sizable lead, 2.5 seconds that time. 4 laps down, 4 laps remain. As the caution flag is going to come out, we'll go back to lap 3. Back to green. 3 laps in the books. 5 laps remain. Maggie Stroop, your race leader at the halfway point, followed by the 17G of Grayson Logan, Thatcher Parker in the 17P, Brex Woods, Wesson Whitaker. Now here comes Brex Woods mounting a charge to the inside of the 17P, clears him in turn number 3. Brex Woods up to the third spot. White flag out for your leader, the 47 of Maggie Stroop. Brex Woods now trying to advance another spot. Gets the door shut in his face there in turn number 1. Down the back chute, Maggie Stroop into turn number 3. The checker waves out of 4. She picks up the heat race victory. Grayson Logan in second. Brex Woods going to finish and round out the podium. Thatcher Parker, Brody Lewis, your top 5. Hey. Caution flag waves over in turn number 4. Little early on the gas for Larson. We'll see if it stays. It does. Audrey Larson going to lead lap number 1. Top 6 will move on to tonight's feature race. Coming up after qualifiers, following our junior sprint A feature, we will have intermission. Audrey Larson, your race leader. Now, Breck Bowie in the 66 is caught up. Running in third, Weston Whitaker, Casey Pittman in fourth, Weston Kessler, Ben Knox Jr. is in your 6th and final transfer spot, and he gets a little sideways. Announcer's curse, and we got the 45 just ramps the nose of the 17Z of Carter Keith. But Randy Weber in the 77W, now the gatekeeper. 45 of Gunnar Hudson trying to track him down. Audrey Larson still your race leader. At the halfway point, 6 laps remain. It's Larson, Bowie, Whitaker, Pittman, Kesner, and Weber, your top 5. Weber's going to have some company in here pretty quick from the 45. Trying to hold on, but the 45X going to dive down, contact. Runs the 77 up the track and move the 45 of Gunnar Hudson into the final transfer spot. Ben Knox Jr. trying to take that spot back as he bobbled over in turn number 4 and lost it. He's got his work cut out for him, but the 45 is pretty quick tonight. Audrey Larson into lap traffic. Loses the lead to Brett Bowie. Now going to battle back down on the bottom side as the white flag is out. Side by side for the race lead. The advantage to Brett Bowie in the 66, but both of them stay smart through 3 and 4. Checker flag out. Brett Bowie going to pick up the B feature win. Audrey Larson holds on for 2nd. Wesson Whitaker in 3rd. Casey Pittman 4th. Weston Kesner 5th. Gunnar Hudson that 6th and final transfer spot. One spot out was Ben Knox Jr., Carter Keith, Brody Lewis, and Randy Weber, your field. The race fans have had a round of applause. They're going to line up. On the pole, it'll be the 65 of Brighton Bowie to the outside, the 3T of Bentley Thompson. Row 2 on the inside, the 47 of Stetson Struppen to the outside, the 14B of Chase Bunton, while row number 3 is the 52 of Carson Brazil and the 36 of Bo Beeson. Row 4, the 47M of Maggie Struppen to the outside, the 17G of Grayson Logan, while row 5, it's the 28B of Brex Woods and the 17C of Caleb Johannesson. Row 6, the 17P of Thatcher Parker and the 21 of Brantley Lewis, while row 7, the 56L of Giovanni Lucido and the 45 of Colt Crisp. Row 8 will be the 66 of Breck Bowie and the 14 of Audrey Larson, while row 7, the 77 of Wesson Whitaker, 37K of Casey Pittman. Lights out championship night at the 26th annual Pete Frazier Memorial is not underway. We've got a parking lot. Everybody line back up, lights out. We're going green coming out of turn number 4. Brighton Bowie, Bentley Thompson bring us to the green flag. Yellow comes out on the back straightaway. Lights out, back to green flag racing out of turn number 4. Brighton Bowie, Stetson Stroop 1 and 2. Stetson Stroop right there, pacing the 65. Going to try and pull up alongside him, coming down to the back stretch. Bowie goes down to the bottom through 3 and 4, but it's going to slide a little bit high. Stroop does the same. Carried a little bit too much speed there, unable to get it to stick on the bottom. up into lap traffic. Bowie puts an insurance car between himself and Stroop and allowing to pull away. Now Stroop underneath the same car, but Bowie opening up a 0.7 of a second lead. Out of turn number 4, Bright and Bowie brings us back to the green flag. Open palm wave on the field means only one thing. 5 laps remain here in your Junior Sprint A feature. Now getting around lap traffic. The 77 is going to pull in. We get the drumsticks out. 2 laps remain.